selling his company to Charles Schwab. He's a frequent guest on national radio and television programs. He's the author of over 400 articles on better living. He has written 2 books and the award-winning Path to Prosperity 2-volume, 12-CD audio library. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve Beaman.
We have put together something very special for you this evening, and we hope you can enjoy it. You've been introduced to our band. I want to introduce them in just a second, but we want to thank you so much. Tonight is going to be special. Chris Yance, who's joined me, and I have talked about making this something you will remember. I do want to mention at the outset we are being filmed tonight, so don't be shy about the cameras. Feel free to make as much noise as you like, and don't throw them out. They're good friends of ours. So thank you all for coming out. Let me real quick introduce you to these wonderful musicians. First of all, on our drums tonight is a session musician from Chicago. He plays with a host of bands around the areas. He's the owner of the Excel Music. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jeff Kissel. I'll get those right, folks. It never fails. I'm going ahead of myself, but I will tell you our next that I want to introduce. From time to time, you have a chance to meet someone who's very special, who agrees with you on the need that Americans have to be filled with hope and new optimism. I recently met this man. His background in music is extraordinary. He played with B.B. King, Survivor. He is absolutely one of the best bass musicians in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Dennis Johnson. Again, as honored as I am to have these people here, some people go to extraordinary efforts to be here to help us put this show on for you. The next man I want to introduce is a graduate of the Northwestern University. He's a professor of jazz music at the Juilliard School of Music, so you may know of that. But you may best know him for his place in the Saturday Night Live band. So ladies and gentlemen, live from New York, the coolest member of our band, Mr. Ron Blake. Whoa. And some of you may follow the Chicago music scene as I do. And if you do, you know there is a beloved band by the name of Mr. Blotto. Well, we are pleased tonight to have the mastermind of Mr. Blotto with us, a vocalist of extraordinary talent that you heard tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome warmly Mr. Paul Bolger. I forgot to mention he's our long-legged supermodel, by the way. But next to him, and a man that I have been pleased to know who is a real expert in the music industry. He's a recording artist of note. He's played with folks like Mick Fleetwood. He's best known perhaps for his work with Dave Mason. You may remember the song We Just Disagree. This man was his touring keyboardist and band leader. So ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely honored to have with us tonight on the keyboard Mr. Bobby Scamacci. And then finally, 3 years ago, I had a vision in my head about something we could do to change the dialogue in this nation. And I met through a mutual friendship of our daughter to a man who, at that time, I knew him as an investment advisor. So we had a lot to talk about. He understood money, I understood money, and we shared many a conversation about it. But as I shared this vision with him, I found out that he was also a recording artist. He played with the likes of the Allman Brothers, who you've all heard of. He played with Sherry Scott of Earth, Wind & Fire, and a range of people too big to mention. To say he's a musical, extraordinary talent is an understatement, but he's become, over the last 3 years, my very good friend. He has put enormous effort into making this evening possible. Ladies and gentlemen, would you give the warmest of welcomes to my good friend, our executive producer, Mr. Chris Yance. These extraordinary musicians have come together to help us